welcome to today's first episode ever. For everyone who doesn't know me, my name is Melina Leon and I am the owner of Beauty Artistry and Lash Doll Studio. I specialize in lash extensions, hair and makeup for brides and photo shoots, and I also do lash education, groups and one-on-ones. So earlier this week I posted on my story that I was going to be going live and making a recording for all the beauty industry questions that you may have. If you're just like a newcomer and you're interested on how to join the industry, or if you are in the industry and you want to know anything, I invited everybody to send me questions, and I did write some down right here, and I will be reading them and answering them for you guys, and hopefully we all learned something today. So one of the first questions that I received was, do I need to go to beauty school to become a lash tech, or is a certificate enough? Well, that's kind of a tricky question, because in many states a certificate is just enough. You just have to go take a class and you're good to go. But in the state of Nevada, where we're located, you actually need to be a licensed esthetician or cosmetologist to be able to perform a lash service on a client. With that being said, anybody can take the class. If you want to take it because you're going to be attending school soon and you want to be, ready to go as soon as you're done, you're welcome to take my class. If you're in school, you can also take the class as long as we meet state board's requirements when it comes to touching any model clients, but that's something that could be worked out. And if you already are done with school, you can definitely take the class, and that way, it's a form of expanding your education. In the beauty industry, you always want to be expanding your knowledge because things are always growing and changing, and you just want to be keeping up with the industry. So to answer your question, do I need to go to beauty school to become a lash tech in the state of Nevada? Yes, you do. Let's see. Oh, and if you do take a class, you can also write that off on your taxes. So if you pay through an invoice, you can save that receipt and give it to the person that does your taxes, and it's a form of investment. It's not lost money. You can, perhaps get a write-off. I'm not a tax expert, but I do know that you can claim it on your taxes. All right, moving on to question number 2. How do I choose the right training class if I do want to take one? So how to choose the right training class? I would say find a licensed professional who does the type of work that you're into, and make sure that their work is clean, that they have a good online presence, and ask yourself the questions that you want to know, or ask yourself these questions. Do they provide a manual? Do they offer ongoing mentorship? Do they offer a kit? How many days is it? And do they help you find employment? So don't just say, oh my gosh, I'm going to take this class because they're offering lunch. No. It could be like a sandwich, and that's not what you should be going for. You should be going for a lash education class that's going to give you very thorough information. So for example, my classes, I like to offer at least 4 or 5 days, and I do offer a training manual that I wrote myself, because I feel that there's just so much information that I'm going to be giving you. By the end of the day, you're probably only going to retain so much. So you're going to want to have that manual that you can look back onto later on, like a few months down the road. Also, I do provide ongoing mentorship. For example, if you have any questions and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't remember how to do this, you can always shoot me a text or a DM, and I am available. I will answer you any questions that you may have. Another thing is that I do offer employment. As you can see, I have beds available for booth rental as well as commission. So what's better than having your trainer on site? If you are just straight out of school and you have your first client ever, and it's you're nervous and you're like, oh my gosh, I know how to do this, but I'm so nervous. I'm literally like in the next room. You can always call me and I'll come out to help you. So that is one of the things that you should be looking for when considering taking a class. Let's see, another question that I received was, I'm fresh out of beauty school. Should I work commission or go out independent / booth rent? So the difference between booth rent or independent solo artist and a commission artist is that for an independent artist, you have to go and get your Nevada State City license for your business, Nevada State business license for your state, your insurance, and then you can choose whether you're going to rent a bed or you're going to rent a suite, and you kind of make your own schedule, your own prices. You are your own boss. But you also have to remember that you are going to be in charge of getting your own clientele, and when they no call no show you, you have to be the one that kind of puts, lets them know that the policies are the policies. You can't just kind of be more lenient and be like, well, unfortunately I would let you pass this time, but the boss says I can't. So you are the boss. So that's kind of like a plus side and a downside to being your own boss. If you don't like confrontation, then that's going to be a little bit difficult because you do have to put your foot down. So a commission artist, when you're a commission artist, you rent a bed, and I, as the owner, will provide your lashes, your tweezers, your adhesive, your primer, all of your tools. If you have some tweezers that you absolutely cannot live without, you can absolutely bring them in and use those. If you have any clients that you want to bring in, we strongly encourage you to do that, because you always want to be working on growing your clientele. But as the owner, I'm also in charge of promoting your page, promoting your work, your specials that you're running, and helping you build your clientele in that way. So, if you're brand new and you don't have a clientele, I would say that commission is the best way to go, because 9 times out of 10, the only reason people want to be their own boss and rent a suite or versus working on a bed is because they want to decorate, they want to, just make it look aesthetically pleasing, which I totally understand. But at the beginning, you may not have all the resources and income to do that. So a great way to get you started is definitely commission, because with commission, all you have to do is worry about getting your own insurance. You don't have to worry about getting a city license or a state license because you are working under mine. All right, so question number 4, what do you need as an independent artist versus a booth renter? So like I already mentioned, you only need to have certain licenses as a booth renter. You have to have all your city and everything, all your ducks in a row. And I think I kind of went over that one. But yeah, aside of being a lash artist, when you are an independent lash artist, you're also simultaneously becoming a small business owner. And that comes with a lot of responsibility because you're no longer just a hands-on technical artist. Now you're also an admin. You're also a person that's getting your tax things ready. You're also doing inventory and scheduling, everything. And if you feel like that's what you were looking for, then absolutely go for that. If you are more kind of like, well, let me get my feet wet first and ease into the process. I don't want to be responsible for inventory and scheduling. If a client no calls, no shows, or is late, you can always basically put the blame on the policy that the business owner implemented. And that's kind of like the upside and downside. You kind of just have to choose what side you want to be on. Another question: if you lash commission, how often should you sign a new contract or ask for a raise? So if you're lashing commission, I would say that is something you need to discuss with your boss at the beginning. If you signed at least 6-month contract, 6 months to a year, and then you can have a revision where you guys go over your performance, and if you feel like you are doing really well, you're bringing in a lot of clients, then getting a raise is something that you can bring up to your boss, and they may consider that. But yes, I would say every 6 months to a year, go over that contract and make sure that it's something that you're happy with. If you feel like you are not happy, definitely speak up and talk to your boss. It should be a open communication between the two of you. How do I deal with flaky clients and enforcing my policies? So, I wrote down here, because it's kind of a long answer. The way you deal with that is you want to treat your business like a business and not just like a hobby. If you want other people to respect your business, you have to treat it like such. You have to take it serious and, set your boundaries and your policies, and you have to stick to them. That's a little bit hard because when you're working behind the chair, you're lashing, you're building that relationship with your client, and that's your girl, whatever. But then something happens to where they don't come in one day, or they last minute cancel you and want to reschedule, and they think you guys are so cool that's gonna, you're not gonna implement those policies on them. Well, that's where it gets a little bit difficult, because then as a business owner, you switch from, you switch hats. You're no longer the lash artist. Now you are front desk, and you're, asking for payments, or now you're, the manager, and you're implementing these policies, and they may not always be happy. I deal with that by just trying to treat everyone equally and implementing that on everybody, because if you don't do it with someone, then the next person's gonna want you to cut them a break. Also, if you do it once, and they're gonna do it many times, and then it becomes a habit, and that's not how you want to run your business. I have learned that it's okay to let it slide the first time, because all right, you've never done it before. I want to maintain your business. I want to keep you as my client, so I will let it slide this first time. But now because I have verbally told you, next time I will be requiring 100% of your service for last minute cancellation, or whatever your policy is. But yes, so that was a lot of information, and I just want to end this by saying a couple tips that I wrote down for you guys. One was treat your business like a business, not like a hobby. Save all of your receipts. so that you can put them in a binder and just kind of separate them month by month. I cannot talk today. Yes, so what you're going to want to do, first of all, you want to open up a business bank account so that any purchase that you want to make, you can use your business account to make it, and that way that purchase will be saved on your statement. Also, save the receipt and put it in a safe place, organized, so that way at the end of the year your tax person won't hate you and you can have everything in order. You can show all your expenses, all of the things that you want to write off, like your classes, all the education, and let's see, what else? Get a scheduling software. So a lot of people like to use Square or Vagaro. There's Gloss Genius. There's a few more. I personally like to use Squarespace, and that's just the one I used from like the beginning, and I did like a QR code and I printed it on all my business cards. So now I'm like kind of stuck to it because that way if you have one of my business cards, you can just scan it and it'll take you to my booking site. So I just decided to keep it, and it's worked for me so far. They're not free, but that is also something you can write off on your tax return. But yeah, so definitely get a scheduling software. That way you can keep track at the end of the year and check like your business revenue, how much you made. Like if last month was higher than this month, and then you can kind of go back and think, well, what did I do different? What, did I lose more clients? Why did I lose more clients? Let me go back and change that. And yeah, so it's kind of it offers a graph for you to kind of go ahead and read the health of your business financially. So yeah, that was just one of my quick little tips for all you business owners, beauty business owners, because we're different. We're a different breed. We're not just your regular business owners. We like to have fun, and yeah, we definitely have a very, very social and a great platform. But yeah, so I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. My Instagram is beauty.artistry.lashdollstudio, and you guys can always reach me on there as well. Okay. Well, thank you dolls for watching today.